What is going on, Alpha Hunters? Hopefully, you are having a very modest bullish Monday because the market is bullish. So you should be too. Hopefully, your day is having sunshine and rainbows. A little bit of a gap up here on the SPY. Nothing crazy. But the price action after that has been very, very strong. This has been definitely the best bullishness that we've seen so far in 2024. About time we got there. So it's just been kind of slowly grinding all day. It's been very nice. Here's a look at the 15, going all the way back to last week, looking pretty good there. If you notice, well, with today's bullishness, well, currently, we've gotten all the way to where we opened the year. Dang. Yep, good amount of bullishness coming in. So, all right. I guess the question now comes was that a buying opportunity that we saw at the end of last week, beginning part of today, or is this just a counter trend rally for what we started last week? I mean, that's going to remain to be seen. The one thing I would say is I'd be much more willing to play this bullish now. Be looking for a pullback probably into these highs that we had late last week, maybe around the 470 and a half area, under 471, something like that. But you're going to have a very clear stop loss below Friday, right? It's pretty simple. Nothing crazy. But that's the way I would probably be looking to play this. And here's the other thing, is if we do break Friday's low with the strong bullish bounce that we've seen today, you're probably just going to go bearish. So it's always great when you finally see, the trend that has been going for a few days, and then you see in kind of reverse. Now you can kind of set some price levels, and that's the way I would look to play it. All right, that's kind of spy. So this is what it looks like on the daily. Obviously, you can see very nice, strong bounce, the best bullish activity we've seen so far this year, and 24. So take a look at that VIX. VIX has dropped off Monday. It opens higher almost every Monday. Pretty much every Monday. And there you go. It's just continued to fade down the entire day. Makes sense. Gotten down recently to the lows that it was putting in there on Friday. Probably continue to trade lower. Even if the market does roll over into the close today, here in the last 2 hours, I would imagine the VIX, as long as it's not like a crazy reversal on the market, which I don't expect that, the VIX will probably continue just to trade lower. And there you go. DXY, the dollar index, still just kind of hanging out, trying to roll over. What does it look like? So yeah, tried to roll over this morning, past hour and a half or so. Looks like it's been bouncing pretty good off that 10 EMA. So yeah, still hasn't broken that huge doji that we put in on Friday. So right now, still just wait and see on the DXY. GLD, very nice. Nice lower. Wow. Okay. Wouldn't have thought we'd see that. Nice gap down here on the GLD. Obviously, gold then is probably down. Take a look at the gold futures real quick. So yeah, gold futures are down. Okay. All right. Well, that's interesting. Kind of would have thought that. I would still be willing to be more bullish on any dips. And that's kind of the way I look at it. All right. 10-year yield. Nice higher open, right? Higher open, and it has pulled all the way down. Okay. Basically, at the same time this morning when the DXY and the dollar was dropping off, so was the yields. So, okay. Still really hasn't broken, like it's going to roll over quite yet. Nice little higher open today. Kind of just pulls back. Maybe it's starting to bounce now. So, hasn't gotten below the Friday's low. Maybe it kind of just sideways consolidates here, kind of like the dollar going forward here for the next couple days. All right, moving on. 10-2 inversion. 10-2 inversion actually did get above that little wick that we did put in early last week on Tuesday. It is coming down. Okay, so check the 2-year yields. So yeah, 2-year yields dropped off. Not as much as the 10-year, kind of just hanging out a little bit lower today. Kind of looks like we have a huge Morningstar reversal pattern here as the moving averages are coming down. So that'd be interesting. Check that over the next couple of days. Yeah, I'll just keep an eye on that one. HYG, yields are down, bonds should be up. Bonds are up. HYG bouncing pretty good there. LQD bouncing pretty good. Not getting over that 10 EMA yet. TLT bouncing a little bit, getting back up into that 20-10 EMA area. Okay. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy yet, that is. Take a look. Sector performance, sector rotation. See what's moving today. I know tech is going to be a high flyer. A lot of people looked at how much tech sold off last week and like, oh yeah, this is the best time ever to buy tech. Don't forget, we are going to, actually we've basically kind of started earnings season, but we're going to be really getting into it this coming Friday. We're going to have financials reporting. So be very mindful that earnings season is rapidly approaching. Yeah, tech, biggest outperformer on the day. You can see the Q's up 1.66%. XLK looking pretty good there. Discretionaries also outperforming. Communications outperforming. Real estate also outperforming. Underperforming sectors on the day. Staples, healthcare, utilities, industrials, financials, materials, and then energies. Big underperformer there. Energies didn't do that bad last week. Take a look at crude oil here in a sec. Taking out the gap. Yep, tech still doing pretty good. Very much got bought up on the open today. Looking pretty strong there. Real estate's looking pretty good. Discretionaries kind of climbed back here over the past couple hours. Be positive on the intraday. Communications, utilities, all underperforming, as well as industrials, materials, staples, healthcare, financials, energies. So taking out that gap, energies actually kind of climbed back here. You can see energies got hit right on the on the open with the gap down, and they flushed out a little bit there. But climbing back, at least not as big of a disparaging gap on performance if you take on consideration on the open. All right, so let's just run through how these guys are looking. So the RSP is going to be underperforming today. Nothing crazy. Be curious to see how we set up on some of these markets. You know, are we going to set up some shoulder, neckline, head, neckline, shoulder type actions, and then maybe we do something like that. Be interesting to see if we do that there on the RSP. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, the DIA, actually gapped down pretty good today. UNH. Did UNH? Well, UNH is trading down. That's the largest weighting on the Dow Jones, so okay. Dow Jones still just holding pretty good. I mean, it's basically flat. That might be getting helped a lot from Microsoft and Alphabet. Obviously, with tech running pretty strong today. Okay. IWM, one that got smacked over the past week and a half. Yeah, I mean, getting below this little consolidation area. Obviously, now this is going to basically turn into a resistance kind of zone. And it's kind of where the 10 EMA is also. And we're kind of getting into that area now. So, I mean, I could see a couple different ways you could possibly play this. I mean, you could definitely play. Let me get the brush. I mean, you could play a bullish dip into this level, like where the Thursday, Fridays wicks were. Jesus, that was awful. I'll just do this. Wherever the Thursday, Friday wicks were, right? You can just play a bullish there, or you could say, hey, you know what? I'm down to actually play this bearish. As it kind of comes into this zone of that 10 EMA, kind of where this cluster was back in mid-December. and maybe you put a stop above this wick, or maybe above this red candle, something like that, and or maybe you just say, you know what, cool, I'm going to see how this sets up and see how high it gets, and I'll play the bearish play on the breakdown of our recent lows of today and Friday. So yeah, I mean, there's a couple different ways. Obviously, if you're going to play this bullish, we very clearly have a stop, right? You have a stop below, Friday or Monday's lows, and they, break that on basically any one of these, we're probably just going lower. Qs, look at the gap up on the Qs. Yep. So big tech got bought up this morning after getting sold off pretty good last week. Same thing on the Qs though. I mean, if it comes down and breaks that Friday low, I mean, we're going lower. The main cause for pause here is you definitely did not get into a pretty good support or resistance zone. You kind of just did it in no man's land. And I don't like doing that because typically when you come back down, you get enough people that move their stop losses, right? They move their stop losses up above, just below the most recent pivot, which would be Friday's low. And then if all those stop losses get hit, then you're going to go right through this kind of support and resistance zone where we got some tops here. So then you're going to go look for maybe the next major one. There might be enough buyers in between the tops that we had in November, July, also the 50 EMA. If we do reverse on the Qs, that remains to be kind of be seen. But you gotta like the bounce action today. It's almost like everybody was like, okay, hold on, we don't want to sell everything at once. We do want to buy some stuff. And people woke up today and took the opportunity to buy some stuff. All right. SPY, same kind of deal. I mean, the fact that it broke, some consolidation areas from mid-December, a lot of these, a lot of the major indices did. I mean, just if you just get back below those Thursday, Friday, or Monday lows, it's going to be kind of brutal. So I'd be curious to see how kind of far we run here. Maybe as we continue today, or as it maybe even spills over to tomorrow. If we come out anytime soon and start selling off, though, Tuesday or Wednesday, and start getting back below the lows that we just recently put in, yeah, we'll see some selling come in. So, but it made sense to kind of buy at the end of last week. I mean, we sold down pretty good, even looking at the 15, sold down pretty good. Started the week selling, but it kind of just started losing steam as we were selling off. And what was the MACD RSI kind of doing? Yeah, you can see how low the MACD RSI and they got earlier in the week relative to later in the week. So, all right. Take a look at crude oil. Ooh, crude oil getting smashed. Okay, so gasoline dropping off. Well, that's not good. You know what's funny? I saw let me see if I can go to Finance Yahoo and see it. I got some notification that crude oil markets are the best opportunity in 2024. Some person said that, and I was like, okay. The best opportunity? Well, now I know to go bearish, right? Heating oil obviously dropping off as well today, but gasoline's really dropping off. That is not good. If gasoline's dropping off, that is not good. And oil's dropping off even more than gasoline, so it's gonna be kind of a tough one there. All right, let me know if you got anything you want to take a look at, and we'll just run around, take a look at tech stuff. Let's just go with what we were recently looking at. Energies, ExxonMobil gap down. It's kind of a brutal one. Throwing a nice little lower hammer there, lower wick. Chevron, same kind of deal. ConocoPhillips, definitely some trend changing moves on energy stocks today, though. Definitely big time trend changing. BP, PSX, Phillips 66. They've been crushing it. VLO, Valero. Not doing as bad. Okay, not doing as bad. Marathon Oil. Marathon Refining is doing pretty good today. So the refiners don't look like they've been hit nearly as hard on the stock side. It's just... So VLO, yeah, doesn't look like it. MPC. Ray, what's going on, buddy? That was the weekend, man. IWM is breaking 196, super bullish. Yeah, I mean it definitely. I mean, yeah, it definitely has. It's been running pretty good today. I would just rather. I mean, if you're gonna take a bullish, look for this. Look for a pullback into like 195 and a half, and take that. And take that. Obviously, you very clearly have a stop loss below Friday, below Monday's low, right? So you got some pretty good tops coming in here over the past couple of days around this 195 and a half area. Even today, that's kind of where we paused a couple hours ago, and then we just broke out of that about an hour ago. So yeah, I would look for a pullback into that 195 and a half where those tops are and play that bullish. But easily got a well-defined stop loss at the lower level. Yeah, Happy New Year to yourself. Very much had a great time. I didn't do anything, so it's fantastic. It was a very nice New Year's though. I went over to a buddy's house New Year's Day and watched college football playoffs. My Longhorns lost, so I wasn't too happy about it. I'm just now getting over my depression from a week ago. Let's see. All right, so take a run through NVIDIA. Look at that breakout. Longhorns did have... Dude, the refs in that game were just trash. They were trash. Not saying the Longhorns didn't have their shot and they didn't execute. But, man, the refereeing in that game was so one-sided. I like clean games. I don't, but if you're going to suck both ways. Wow, NVIDIA just absolutely mauling it higher. Who do you think wins tonight, Ray? I'll be watching that game. I think Washington's going to handle them. 17. Washington wins by 17 plus. AMD. Like, what's going on with chips? Is there some major news out there? NASDAQ pops, Dow lags as Boeing plunges, Wall Street reacts to Boeing stock. Yeah, okay. Dude, by the way, if you didn't see this, there's some footage going around the socials about some passengers inside with this door that was off on this plane. It was crazy. It was like 20 minutes, about 20 minutes after takeoff, 10, 15 minutes after takeoff. It wasn't too long after takeoff that this door on this plane popped off. And shortly after that, the FAA grounded all 737 MAX jets. So, you think Michigan, but Washington's offense is crazy? Dude, that would have been scary. It would have been scary. There's nothing scarier on a plane when you actually see those the breathing mask. They actually drop down. I would imagine that's terrifying because there is nothing you can do. You don't know what's going on. You don't know why they dropped. Yeah, that crazy. That would freak me out. I don't. So I don't really see anything crazy going on out there. To say that, semiconductors should be popping and rocking like this, man. Jeez. Even AVGO getting a little bit of a bounce. Man. TSM bouncing like that. Man, TSM. Semis are getting bought up. Jeez. I can imagine sitting right next to the damaged emergency door. So there was a chair that got sucked out. If you didn't see that, it was an empty chair though. The door popped off and an empty chair got sucked out. That's crazy. I can only imagine seeing a chair fly out also. You're like, oh my gosh, someone got sucked out. And no, it wasn't somebody. It was just an empty. It was just an empty. Nuts. All right, back to it. What are we doing? TX, like all the semis are ripping it today. Jeez. Okay. The one that's more shocking to me is Nvidia. Like, wow. Okay. AAPL up 2% today. Very nice. That's a very nice move. You had to think, man, Apple's going to get dip buyers to come in at some point in time. That's why you can't sell them, right? You can't. You can sell it. You can sell it. If you own it, you can sell it. You can't short that thing. I don't. There's a few stocks I don't short, but I never short the largest, maybe second, couple of the largest stocks. Just not a good, good idea. AAPL looking pretty good. Microsoft's been in this December consolidation range for, well, if it doesn't break out of it, going to be a month and a half soon. Let's see here. Alphabet. The thing that's kind of concerning here with Alphabet, I'm just kind of looking at this, but you got a lot of these daily tops that have come in over the past several trading days, like a week and a half, and it's kind of at that spot. So I get it's trying to kind of break that trend. So I don't think I would want to be bullish on Alphabet right here. Let it kind of break that trend. Let it set up, consolidate a little bit more. Maybe here over the next day before you look to take something bullish. Let's see who else is out there. Meta, the old Facebook. Meta performed pretty good last week. Even though it got hit pretty good on Tuesday, a little bit on Wednesday. Thursday, Friday came back pretty good. Up 1%. Okay. Yeah, it's not looking too bad. It's one reason why it's probably not doing as well today as some of the others, because it did pretty good at the second half of last week. So yeah, not too bad there on Meta. It's probably the best performing Mag 7 stock this year. Just gonna say that. Amazon's bouncing pretty good today. A lot of these also had pretty good gap ups today. Amazon's doing pretty good. Okay. Filling the gap though. So filling the gap, it's getting kind of up into those moving averages that are coming down. So filled this gap from Tuesday, is that Wednesday to Thursday. Yeah, there's a lot of things that have moved so much today. I don't know if I would want to be bullish right here, right now. And you might have to just be patient and wait into tomorrow to see kind of maybe how some things set up a little bit. And it's also going to depend on your time frame. If you're looking out a little bit longer term, maybe over the next couple months, take a shot. If that's what you're looking for. Tesla, though, not really doing all that great. kind of just chopping sideways here the past couple days. What's the market doing? The market's still just steamrolling higher. I'm gonna be super curious to see if we make a run, we hit a new trending high on the SPY, and what that would look like on the Qs as well if we get a switch, because the Qs are about 2 1/3 away. The SPY is about 1% away, right? 1% away. So I'd be very interested to see if we do see the SPY come up, snag this high from late December. The Qs come up, maybe reject off this 408, 409 level, and it comes back down. But if everybody was going to buy so much, why didn't they just do it last week? And you also tell here over the past like hour, you can take a look at the Qs here, how much they're performing, and look at the SPY. SPY's really running up now. RSP, yeah, take a look at that. RSP really starting to kind of run there. All right. Maybe CPI is going to be bad this week. Bad in which direction? Which way do you mean bad? Bad is bad, or bad is good? Or bad is we just don't care? CPI, core inflation, tomorrow morning. Turn the market down? Well, I wonder if inflation comes in higher. So CPI year over year expected to come in at 3.2. Core is expected to come in at 3.8. That'll be Thursday. Yeah, we don't have anything until then, right? Yeah, we don't really have anything this week until Thursday. And then Friday, we're going to get PPI month over month. So this will be the only thing that really matters, this week. Oh, yeah, the other thing we're going to get Friday, we're going to start getting earnings. So we'll be getting back into that. I believe JP Morgan will be doing earnings. Whoa, financials are down. JP Morgan. Is all financials down? No, not really. Just JP Morgan, Bank of America, mostly Citi. So we're going to get into bank earnings Friday. And then, one of the bigger ones you just kind of get it on and over with is JP Morgan. Basically kind of gives you the, financial earnings right away, right? I mean, that's basically what JP Morgan is. So JP Morgan. Okay, Bank of America is also down. They're going to be doing earnings on Friday. So Goldman Sachs will be next week on Tuesday. Okay, next week on Tuesday. And then Citi Friday. Morgan Stanley will be next week. Looks like Tuesday. Wells Fargo will be this Friday. Visa will be at the beginning of February. MasterCard, beginning of February. American Express, towards the end of January. Okay. BLK, DX. Yeah, financials aren't really doing all that great today. So it's very interesting. Like, what's driving the bullishness? Is it just dip buyers? I mean, there's no data. We haven't really gotten any data. Just people buying the dip from the past 2 months. It's gonna be a good time here over the next couple days. Let me know if there's anything you guys want to take a look at. What would you say, Ray? It was very weird, the bullishness trend today, but Nvidia did rip up. Yeah, and let me take a look at Nvidia intraday. Oh my gosh, look at that! Dang. Nvidia, two of the best chip stocks to buy for 2024. I ain't buying Nvidia, dude. What Nvidia does for an Encore. There was Nvidia introduces new RTX 40 Super chips for gaming AI powered PCs. Is that what we got going? H20 chip for China in Q2. That probably is a big deal. Yeah, it seems like Nvidia had some announcements this morning. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, this is gonna get the market going, right? Nvidia, the hottest stock last year. I'm not gonna say the best performing stock last year, but definitely the hottest. Ripping it on the open. It's just kind of got everybody to probably just say, yeah, you know what, it's a buy day. Close it out. Any bearishness, buy the dip. You know, everything kind of started self-feeding on it. Ooh, man, look at that SPY. Just starting to go crazy. Now everybody feels like they're missing in on the dip. Yeah, I ain't touching nothing. Let's see, consumer durables. So Ford, GM. So Ford, GM's breaking out. Okay, up over 2%. Looking pretty good there. DHI. How are the home builders doing? These guys ripped it in Q4. Lennar. NVR. I don't even know what NVR is, but they're a home builder. Doing pretty good today. Up 1.5%. Looking pretty good. LKQ. What's LKQ is an automotive aftermarket. Okay. PHM. Oh, Pulte Home Group, yeah. Home builder. So home builders actually didn't struggle as bad last week, is what you would have thought. Like they crushed it in Q4. I mean they did have a negative week for the most part, but they weren't they weren't nearly as bad as like tech and some other areas. All right. Let me know if there's anything you want to take a look at on that. I think for the most part, I just want to see what data looks like across this month. And here's another thing that was kind of interesting. So I'll bring this up. I posted this in the Discord. Let's see. Where's it at? It's all right, trying to find it. There it is. So check this out. Initial U.S. And I remember this throughout the years, thinking that, like, I mean, it seemed like every damn month they revised down the initial, whatever the initial jobs report kind of came in at. But check out this headline. Initial U.S. unemployment report overstated by 939,000 jobs. So that was in 2023. So basically what this is saying is the revisions down from the initial reports totaled 439,000 jobs for 2023. That is crazy. Crazy. It's like, you can't even trust the data. And if it is trustworthy, it's trustworthy to the negative side. So, yeah, just not even good. It's not good if you can't even trust the data. All right, guys. I mean, the market's ripped it today. There's not really much to really kind of gloss over. We've kind of seen it. It's been a lot of tech. Semiconductors absolutely ripped. And they're not really doing as much here over the past hour. Crude oil fell off. Some other things kind of picked it up over the past hour or so. That's why you see the RSP started to play. A little bit of catch up here over the past hour. Qs continued to trend higher, but they definitely slowed their pace, and you see the SPY just absolutely ripped over the past hour. So yeah, there's not really kind of too much to look at. If you're going to be trying to be bullish here, you're going to look for pullbacks here over the next couple days. Probably, maybe into this mid 470 area, kind of into some of these tops, maybe like 471 to 470 and a half. And you're probably going to be bullish with a very clear stop loss below Friday's low on the SPY. So something like that is what you're going to be probably looking at. Other than that, and that, you can kind of apply that to pretty much any of these major ETFs. Other than that, we'll see what David kind of comes in like later on in the week. See how things progress. But there probably won't be too much kind of going on here for the next 2 days. So the market might do whatever it wants. If it wants to continue to push higher, maybe the SPY gets up, takes out that high from late December, and maybe the Qs don't take it out, and then we'll see a little bit of a divergence between the Q and SPY, and that's typically when you will see that switch kind of take place, and you will see the bearishness come in after that as the Qs lead the market, lead the S&P 500. Lead the SPY. So, Alpha Hunters, have a great rest of your day. Take care, and chat with you tomorrow. All right. Take care, Alpha Hunters.